Maybe. There we go.
Live from the Echo Network Studios here in Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Odd Musings. We're your hosts. I'm Brett Pinson.
And I'm Scott Zambelli.
Happy New Year. It's January 2nd, 2019. We made it.
Yes.
We've crossed over. The Earth has made a full turn around the sun. Unless you're a flat earther, and then nothing happened. So
that's true. There was a post I saw that was funny. It said from the Flat Earth Society on their page about how we have members from all around the globe. Someone from another society posted, please read that out loud and very slowly. All around the globe. But we still got to do a Flat Earth episode.
I think we'll plan that for February.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun one. We'll do some research and go into their theories and things like that.
Who knows? Maybe we'll be Flat Earthers by the end of the episode.
I don't know.
You never know.
My favorite, though, is someone goes, well, they say the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. I don't feel like I'm going 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah. Or they'll do the one.
I'm sitting there going, well, then you need to stand in one place and spin yourself around like you did as a kid, lay down, and you'll see the movement of the Earth.
See, now I wonder, though, if those are real people or like, because there's always these spoof sites that are set up to make mockeries of people's positions. So it's like, is that a real position or is this somebody mocking the position with a ridiculous argument?
What it is it's like L. Ron Hubbard with Scientology. Someone's like, I bet you I can bring back the flat earth theory. No, you can't do it. Here, hold my beer. I have, they'll create a whole thing. We're going to get a whole book out, and they're going to, there's going to be the flat earth societies. They're going to set themselves up next to the Scientologists in Clearwater, Florida, and they'll wear different colored shirts, and you'll never know which one is which.
In all seriousness, that would be actually a fun book to write. Like a story where, what if like the earth actually was flat? Like,
it's called Discworld. It came out. There's a whole series of those where the flat earth is on the back of a turtle flying through space. Yeah.
Oh, man.
In fact, he even tried to make a couple movies out of it. So.
Oh, Doctor Who had that too. It was on the back of these space whales. Yeah. The cities were on space whales or something.
Yeah, and that's where like the whole Discworld thing comes from too. So
on that note, how was your New Year's Eve?
Well, mine was good. I went to a friend of mine's house. He had a big get together. Doc, as we call him, he's an actual medical doctor, and I've known Carl for 20 some odd years, and then him is now his late wife Jackie. Jackie passed away this year from breast cancer. She battled for 2.5 years. Brave battle, fought hard. I saw her the day before she passed. She wanted all her friends to come over, so I went and saw her. So he was he let me know they were doing the get together, and it's funny. She turned right before she turned 50. Before she got diagnosed, she decided that she wanted to change, and she looked at him. She goes, "I want to join a band." So I'm not sure how they knew Chris and his band, and they play like at different halls and things like that. And they're older guys, so they play a lot of older songs, which are great rock stuff from the 50s, 60s, 70s, little rockabilly, country mix and stuff like that. And so she became like a backup singer to them, and that was kind of her thing and her midlife crisis, I guess you could say. It was great. For her 50th birthday, they played, and I got to see her sing at that a few years ago. It was cool. Awesome in that. So they were there playing too. In Iran. They all became really close and that. So I was there and had a really good time. Got to see Carl and his family. The first grandbaby's going to be born here in the next month. His daughter Emily's pregnant with a boy, and real excited for that. And the funny thing is, the guy she married, I knew his dad because he was my choir teacher starting when I was in elementary school 40 years ago. So I've known him for a long time.
Choir. So we can have you sing a theme song for us.
This is the Odd Musing Show. The Odd Musing. Oh, that's too much like Garrick Shanley.
I was gonna say, that sounds familiar.
We'll do like Dr. Who, like Odd Musings. So I get to see John McGehee for a bit. It was great seeing him, and it's also their first grandchild, so they're all really excited about having this first grandchild who's going to be like exorbitantly spoiled. Had a great time. Saw some other people I hadn't seen in a while that are also mutual friends, and nice thing was most of us were probably in our, except for like Carl's kids who are 20s, and I think Carl J's 30. Everybody and a couple other young ones. I think my friend Carrie's daughter was there. She's going to be 21 soon, and a couple other people, but majority of us were at least in our mid 30s, if not older. Right. So it was not the drunken debauchery of my youth.
No, that doesn't. Same here. Like New Year's for me was just I was in bed by 10:30. That was it.
Typically, if I'm not doing something with people or hanging out, I don't care to go out to the big parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The last really going out I did was when John was alive, and this was like in 2005 to 2006 New Year's. It was the last New Year's he was alive, and we went to the Improv that used to be in Ann Arbor and had a great time. And then we were up to like 2-3 in the morning. They did an improv show. Then they did karaoke afterwards, and it was hilarious. Some of the drunken karaoke that was going on. Not by us. John tried to get up there, but it's like the same people like filled up all the slots. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, for New Year's Day, my daughter came over and we actually went out to Dave & Buster's. They had a deal for $20 each where it was unlimited wings and video games.
Oh, that's nice.
So we were there for a while. It was fun. Had a good time.
Did you eat your weight in wings?
No, they were horribly underprepared for their own promotion.
Usually are.
It took 2 hours for us to get our wings and all that stuff. That's a whole nother story. But the video game side was a lot of fun, and we weren't in a rush. So
I saw the thing. I forget the game was. They got a couple new games like you sit in more and move around or something.
Yeah, they have some of this Oculus game, but those are like the special priced ones.
Oh, okay.
So that wasn't part of the promotion, but so we didn't do that one. But it's like an Oculus one where you're wearing and you're riding a dragon or something.
That's kind of cool.
But the whole thing moves. So with the Oculus combined with the motion, from watching people's reactions who were doing it, it looked like it was a lot of fun.
Well, it's kind of like what we did with in Anaheim last year with the
well, that's a whole nother level because you're actually you're physically moving yourself. There's even a virtual reality park I saw a video of similar to the Star Wars one, but it's a go-kart track.
Oh.
And you're driving go-karts, and the whole thing is mapped within the Oculus. So you are actually driving.
Oh, that's kind of scary.
But you are seeing the world through the Oculus. So you look, it's like, like the Mario games where you're on these tracks where like 100-foot drops and things are going on. Like that's what you're seeing.
Yeah.
And you are actually driving, and you see the other drivers on the course. It's pretty insane, really. You're driving, and you're really not seeing where you're going.
That kind of is scary, though, because I mean, it's like, what if it glitches? And
what if it glitches, right?
Oh, here's my turn, and you turn into a wall.
Boom. But so that's got to be an amazing thing, though, because you're combining real motion.
See, I think that is kind of cool, but I want to do the one like we did with the Star Wars with the Ghostbusters. That's in New York. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that looks excellent as well. And then also we have a birthday out there.
Yeah. Last week's guest.
Yeah,
Amy. Amy and Mike DeSantis from Great Lakes Comic Convention. Here's their flyer we're holding up for the video. We're going to be doing a giveaway too. We'll talk about it in a little bit here. That's going to go on for about a month here. A chance to win a 4-pack to go to the show. But yeah, it's Amy DeSantis' birthday. I saw on Facebook today. So happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
So yeah, Great Lakes Comic Convention. Just a quick plug for that. It's going to be
February 22nd and 23rd.
Yeah, and it's going to be at the Macomb Community College, their South Campus, they call it. And it's in their like sports complex building, they call it. Free parking, which is great. So, and tons of free parking. So it's not like limited. Everybody can come out. So
get your early tickets at www.greatlakescomic.convention.com.
Yep. So definitely check it out. And again, happy birthday, Amy. Glad you were here last week. We had fun. Yep. So I see Janice is watching. Hey, Janice, how you doing?
Janice!
So, I haven't seen Janice in a while. Hopefully Janice will be coming out because I know, I signed up for Motor City Comic Con, so did you.
Yep, we will be out there once again.
Yep, so, and I know, because I messaged a couple people, Kevin Miner to be there with us. Vinny and Lisa are coming from T-24.
Mess Bucket Comics.
Bucket Comics is coming out with Dominic and that stuff, so it's cool. So the whole gang's going to be there. I think we need to talk about doing the Thursday night thing again, have dinner, and maybe we'll come out and do the impromptu podcasting again if Dominic wants to, because that was fun.
That was fun.
We'll make it a tradition every for
we could have an Odd Musings Motown Mojo live crossover event.
There we go.
We'll be crossing the streams. Can Royal Oak contain the power? I don't think so.
So much butterbeer will be drank.
Yeah, that's right. Indeed. Another fun thing.
Yeah.
The Orville came back on the air for season 2.
Yes, I watched it and I loved it. That's got to be my favorite new show of last TV season, because actually it's been a year since it was on, hasn't it? It was just last fall it was on.
Well, it was last year since we were on this show, though.
Well, yeah. But it was like 2017, though. It was in the fall. It didn't cross much into the new year, did it?
Yeah, I want to say it was like March or something.
Okay. So we had,
it's been a while.
But yeah, it's been almost a year since we've had an episode, and so it kicks off new episode tomorrow night.
Yeah. So this was
Thursday,
a kind
January
of a
3rd.
transition episode because originally last season 1 was supposed to be 1 episode longer. They decided to cancel that last episode because they made changes, and so this episode was kind of the transition between their intended season 1 storyline and the new direction they're going for season 2.
Yeah. I love the premise of this episode, which I think is what it was carried over from the previous one. Come to find out, Bortus's race, they only urinate once a year.
And it's
No, I thought it actually a little bit more. I was thinking more comedy would be, but it was kind of funny. It was also like it was a big ceremony, and when they showed me, he's on the edge of a cliff, and I was thinking, oh god, this could be like a fire hose.
That's what I thought too. It was tastefully done, I guess.
It was done, but it was just hilarious. And actually, it's funny because Bortus really wasn't in the episode much. It centered on the doctor and her kids, along with Isaac, who's kind of become like the pseudo father to them and instructor. And then it also centered on the relationship between the captain and the first, officer. And it kind of resolved some of that issue there as they're going forward.
Yeah, I think overall, like I mentioned pre-show, I felt like this was the Avengers Age of Ultron for Orville. Its purpose of this episode was just to reposition all the pieces and storylines, wrap up the storylines they weren't going to go forward with, and create the beginnings for the new storyline.
And we had a new character introduced who looks like could be a new love interest for the captain.
As soon as she walked on board, it's like, okay.
But I think the funny thing is we're going to have a couple of characters that are going to try to get with her, and she's actually got other plans.
Yeah, Gordon.
So
I did enjoy when Gordon went to John for dating advice. So good stuff. So Orville, its regular nights will be Thursdays, which it used to be Sundays.
Right. So I think Thursdays is better. That way the football doesn't interfere with it.
Right. So
and it'll be Thursday at 8.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow night, new episode. Excited about that.
Unless you're listening to us tomorrow, in which case it'll be tonight.
Yeah, because today's January 2nd.
Yeah, that's right.
2019. In case you're listening in 2020 and wondering, man, what did they did last year? Well, this is what we did last year.
Yeah. So
which is this year. So that's next year.
Then also on a personal front too, 2019, moving forward with real estate, we've been really busy. At the end of 2018, getting everything wrapped up. We're working on building our team right now. We got some exciting stuff coming up. But with 2019, some interesting laws are coming into play too. Marijuana is becoming recreational, and that could affect real estate too. Because
you've talked about that before.
Yeah, well, people are buying up land. So if you have some vacant land you've been thinking about selling, you might want to give me a call because people are looking for land.
Well,
they're going to be wholesalers.
Yeah, well, there's been, in the news last couple of days, we've got distributors, there's dispensaries already.
Yeah. Or if you have old warehouses you need to sell.
But there was a former Detroit news anchor, Q, and she's been public about this. She's in support of the marijuana. She does a medical marijuana thing with her husband. Their building got broken into, and they lost over $2,000 worth of product. Whoa! So there's a lot of that going on too. So so maybe they're looking for a new building. So Q, if you're looking, get a hold of Scott. He can help you out.
That's right.
But yeah, a lot of interesting laws going on with that. So I know you got your hand on the pulse of what's going on with real estate.
Pulse of real estate.
Yes. So you got that going on, and you've had some really good success. It's been great to see this last year. That's part of what we're talking about this last year when we get into it here in a minute.
Now the real trick is, all that momentum we've built. It's trying to maintain that momentum and continue forward. So hopefully we can. We're doing our best to do that. Just go online to if you go to Facebook.com/Team Titans RE for real estate. Yeah. Follow us on there. That'll be a huge help for us, and I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, check that out. And also, we have another sponsor tied into your real estate.
That is true.
And it's coming from our former guest, who will have to come back on again soon, Jill Webler.
Jill Webler, Beautiful Home Makeovers. Let me pull up the ad read so I can not mess it up. In need of a fresh look for your home, business, or special event, give Jill Webler a call at 586-277-2145 to schedule a free consultation for bringing new life to your interiors and or exteriors. Whether you need something for the holidays or more permanent like a home renovation, Jill has the expertise and creative vision to give you a look that will wow your family, friends, clients, and anyone else who stops by. Be sure to follow the Beautiful Home Makeovers Facebook page. If you use the @ symbol, it's at Home Makeovers by Jill, or just type in Beautiful Home Makeovers by Jill Webler. Or better yet, go to our oddmusings.com page, to the sponsors page, and we have links there.
And I'm sure a lot of people are taking on their Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa decorations now, and probably not thinking too much about it. And I know, like Mom, we bought the wreath from her, and the wreath's going to stay up for a while because it is a snowman themed wreath, not a Christmas themed.
Yes.
And as we're getting into this winter and then towards spring, maybe you got to people start thinking about the spring stuff, or having her create something for your home.
Yeah, a lot of people, with the new year comes new resolutions, and real estate is a lot of times on that list, whether it's you want to buy something, which we can help you on the real estate side, or a lot of people, they don't have the budget to actually move, so they look at what renovations can they do to the interior, and that's where Jill can help out with Beautiful Home Makeovers.
And sometimes just a fresh coat of paint, along with some nice new decorations, things like that.
She can do all that, or help you pick furniture.
And I feel she's got a great eye. When I commissioned her with the when I commissioned her for the wreath, I didn't give her any specifications.
You just said snowman theme.
I said, here's what we want. This is the basic theme. I saw some of the other work she'd done, and she's great with colors and layouts, and she's just she can really see it and make it happen.
Yeah, when she tells the story, she'll talk about how even like when she was like 7 years old or something, where she'd be like, her mother would be doing something, and she'd be like, you should choose this color and this color and stuff like that. So
don't buy it naturally.
Yeah, she just always loved
because of her doing the Beautiful Home Makeovers is how we met the Package from Santa people.
That's right.
And we're going to be doing some more work with them come next fall again. But they do stuff year round with that, so definitely check out packagefromsanta.com, because if you're looking for something for down the road to keep your kids encouraged and in the belief in that, as well as trying to keep them good, so no one Santa's watching, check it out. They do stuff throughout the year besides the regular Package from Santa stuff. So that was another fun little sponsor we had this holiday season.
That was fun. Dale and Carrie were great. It was very fun to have them out here.
Yeah,
we had the actual Santa give us a call on air.
So we'll have them back out sometime later this year and talk more to them about how their business goes and what they do during the downtime and all that. So it'll be fun.
So as far as current events go, you were able to go see Bumblebee.
Man, that is the best live-action Transformer movie ever.
I completely agree. I absolutely loved it. I was pleasantly surprised.
It felt like they should have been doing this from the get-go in the way the look was, the styling.
You even mentioned you noticed the aspect ratio was the same as the 80s.
And I'm watching it and I go, okay, this is about, and most people don't know, 185:1 has kind of always been the standard. 235:1 is the wider screen, which you see a lot of movies in.
Yeah, that's where you have it on a normal TV, and it's like this big because it's so long. You have like this much black on top and bottom.
And they can take some of the 235s and make them fit your TV screen. That's called anamorphic. They can work with that.
Yeah, then everyone's like all stretched out.
Yeah, that's getting a lot of some of the technical aspects. But the framing of it was done in the same as the
80s style.
Like an 80, like most 80 movies that would have been done like this would have had the 185:1. The Transformers the movie was, I think, originally 178:1, which is a little bit smaller because it's animation.
It's animation.
And but even a lot of animation now has gone 235:1 just because they want the wider field of vision.
Right.
And with everybody having wide TVs now instead of the old standards, they can do more of that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I noticed that from the get-go. But yeah, the first 5 minutes, you're drawn right into the world of Cybertron. So we got to see this great look of Cybertron.
Yeah,
and
so and it was so
the detail
properly done.
And the detail was great. And the point is that when I'm watching this thing going, you forget that it's CGI because it was done so and it wasn't just because it's realistic. Everything about it, just they made it meld really well. And I'm watching different scenes, and I would almost step myself back while watching it as Bumblebee's tumbling around different times, like in the house scene and stuff like that. At no time did you feel like it was just placed there. He felt like he literally was, they had a giant robot in there doing this.
Oh, they did a great job with that. In the Cybertron scenes, although most notably absent, we never saw Megatron.
Right. Now, it's funny, is at the end of the movie, there was a group next to me, and the kid was upset there wasn't Megatron. He goes, I wanted to hear him say this and this, and I think it was done by design.
I'm trying to remember in the very first
But what is it? It almost looked like it was a takeoff from the animated, because you had Galvatron. That was Galvatron that was back there behind with Starscream and Soundwave and all that. And Galvatron was in charge. So I wonder if they kind of changed a little bit of who that was.
So is this taking place? No.
It almost looked like
shouldn't be there though.
But it looked like it took place kind of like in a hybrid version of the animated movie.
Huh. So really, what we were but the Galvatron wasn't there. Oh, I gotta look at that again. Then I gotta see that scene again.
Yeah,
because technically, the fall of Cybertron should be Megatron. Galvatron should be later.
Right.
But what was cool is when Soundwave shows up, everyone's like, Optimus is like, get out of here.
Yeah,
like,
I'm pretty sure it was Galvatron, but it wasn't. It was not Megatron.
No, it definitely wasn't Megatron. They made Soundwave and Shockwave the two primary ones.
Correct.
At that point, and finally a real Shockwave.
Yeah.
Versus the whatever they gave us in the.
And maybe I'm wrong on the Galvatron. I may be wrong on who that was.
I don't think it was Galvatron.
But I thought that was, based on.
Yeah, I'd have to see the actual scene again.
So I don't know.
Anyways, it was so well done, excellently done. So we see the fall of Cybertron,
right,
which is accurate to the origin story because that's why the Autobots kind of left and took off in the Ark.
Which they didn't have an Ark.
They didn't have the Ark.
They had escape pods, basically.
Right. This was kind of like the pre. How would you say it? The scouting? Like they were sent off to many places. We got to see Cliff Jumper.
Right.
That was cool.
So I'll die.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoilers.
No, but we did see RC on Cybertron.
Right.
We saw her in there. So it was just so well done. I was so happy.
Yeah, it was. The story was great. I liked how they didn't just give the girl character like, oh, so she just knew stuff. They showed she had a history with her father teaching her about cars and things like that.
They gave that. Yeah, the human character had a great backstory.
Yeah.
They gave it some emotional weight. So there are scenes where they draw you in as the viewer. It's very well done, and I love the cameo of "You Got the Touch."
Yeah. That was perfect. Yeah.
That was like. Yes!
I was thinking Galvatron, but it probably was just Shockwave I was looking at too. So I don't know. There were so many different ones in the background. A couple times
they really flooded it with a ton of characters. I have a feeling when it's on video and I can pause it, I'm going to find way more characters in there than I even.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of great ones on that. So,
so they did a great job. So thumbs up to Bumblebee.
Yeah, storytelling was perfect. Solid story. It ties into the Michael Bay movies, but the beauty of it is there's a 20-year gap now. They could do more with it. If they want to do another Bumblebee and continue
on the story. Well, they're talking about rebooting the series. So I'm curious how this is going to work. Is this going to be the final movie in this whole arc, and then they're just going to start over, or are they going to just continue and do kind of like a soft reboot where they just go a new storyline and kind of ignore the Bay movies? I don't know.
I think they should ignore the Bay movies. I think there's elements from that they could use, but to continue on for where this one left off, because he goes off and she's gone now. You don't need to bring her back. Not that I didn't like her character, but they've fulfilled her story now.
Yeah.
Where
I would love them to bring Spike in.
Yeah.
And what was his dad? Buster?
Yeah. So I mean, definitely. So Janice, if you haven't seen it yet, there's some spoilers for it. She says she has the soundtrack on vinyl. Can't wait to see this. You need to go see it, Janice. You're going to love it. But the end credit scene sets up, the Transformers coming. You've got Prime, you've got Bumblebee, and all of a sudden you look in the sky and here comes the others. So they actually could set up from there, just like from the original series, them coming to Earth, and that could bring in like Spike and everything else, and from there just go forward, and it'd be like a soft reboot without, and they could just bypass all the other stuff they dealt with and move on.
Right.
And the look of the Transformers in this, Prime and all that stuff, they got more of the classic look. They need to keep that look.
What was great about it too is they did it in a way, because the Michael Bay ones, they try to give it this organic look, but it's a very complicated, you see all the elements and parts. The way they designed these stayed true to the Gen 1 designs, but when you get the close-ups, you see how all the components are there, but they still captured the look of the Gen 1. And I thought it was a beautiful blending of the intricacies of the Michael Bay designs with the look and feel of the Gen 1 designs. I thought they captured that perfectly.
Yeah, it was the way I wish they'd gone originally with the look, the styling and that. So, but yeah, so definitely, hopefully, go see Bumblebee.
Go see it.
I don't know if I'll get a chance to see it again in the theaters, but because we're already talking pre-release. I saw a thing today. They're doing a dual thing for $18 on Vudu for the digital pre-release of Bumblebee and Aquaman.
I really think Bumblebee is probably the most underrated movie out right now, as far as, everyone's talking about Aquaman and all that stuff, or Bird Box or all this other stuff. I'm seeing like barely anything online about Bumblebee. Go see it. It's so worth it.
The nostalgia factor is there, but also it's just got a lot of heart.
And this is coming from somebody who, I'm a hardcore Transformer fan. I did not see the last two Michael Bay Transformers movies because I was so disgusted by them. This movie brought it all back. It's good. I'm hyping it up, so go see it.
Definitely.
There.
So I saw Bumblebee.
I mentioned Bird Box. You saw that.
Yeah, I watched it. It was good. It's one of those movies I think that it's got one watch and done. I'll never watch it again probably unless I'm watching with someone that says they haven't seen it and they want to watch it. But I liked it. It's not the greatest movie of all time. It's an interesting concept. It's play off of other concepts. I like the storytelling. It's got a consistent main thing going on with the flashbacks to explain how they got to that point. Okay. And I like that better, and it allows them to cover time during this main. If you watch the trailer, it says that they're on the river heading somewhere. Sandra Bullock and the two kids. And the nice thing is that you get these flashbacks that actually take up a lot of time. So they're not like quick flashbacks. And then there's some stuff that happens along the way that tie in here and there for the flashback. Okay. So it was, I thought, very well storytelling. And you get to the end, it wraps up. It's worth seeing once.
Good to know. All I know about it is from all the memes that are popping up everywhere. Yeah. And I love
the ones that it's supposedly it's Sandra Bullock on Twitter, and it's a meme that's shared. She goes, "Will you guys please stop doing this?" Because it's her blind, and then whatever else is in front of her. So
right, yeah, and it's the one I really like tied into Star Wars Rogue One. You had Shroot Imwe, who was blind. Mm-hmm. They put his head into the boat with the blindfold, and he says, "I'm blind. Are you kidding me?" In reference to when he had the cover put on his head. Right. So that was really funny. Cool. So Bird Box is a definite thumbs up.
And you said you just started Watership Down.
Watership Down,
which I actually finished.
Yeah.
4 episodes.
I think I'm 1.5 episodes in right now. I'm a little surprised in that because Netflix put out warnings like, this isn't for kids, and those of us who grew up with Watership Down and know the trauma that was inflicted, like parents like, oh, here's a nice bunny cartoon, go watch this, and we're watching going, flesh is being torn and all this stuff. So far it feels tame compared to what
I felt it was
the original cartoon was.
Tamer in some ways. There's still a lot of violence.
So far it's been really good. I really liked it too.
It's more of they went more of the intense route. They're trying to really build up the suspense and the thriller part of it. Yeah. And so there's a lot more of that intensity to it. The violence is slightly secondary in the way of storytelling, but you get a little bit of the blood, so it's not as gory as I thought it would be. Yeah, just because of Netflix putting out that warning, it kind of made me like, oh, what are they going to do then? It's very, and the animation's done very interesting. They went with the kind of the muted tones and colors and that, so I like that. The animation of the rabbits is really good, because like I said, I watched all 4 episodes, and they handled the story very well, and you actually start to care for some of these characters. Yeah, well, then being 4 episodes, they can go much deeper than the original cartoon. Yeah, and I felt it did go a little bit deeper, but there's sometimes I felt it dragged a little bit between 2 and 3. Okay. But it still wasn't bad, and 4 wraps up everything very nicely for the whole story, because it tells the whole story of the Watership Down story. So, all right, definitely check out that. Nice that it's being 4 episodes, you can go through it pretty quick. And then one last thing here on our little list of what we've been watching, Bandersnatch, the Black Mirror movie. You were able to see that. I didn't see that one yet. Netflix, has this on there, and it's the first choose your own adventure movie. Yeah, when I'm watching it, I put it on, thinking, I'll just watch this movie, and it comes on, and it's like, have your controller handy, because this is a choose your own. Basically, it tells you have to choose. It will. You have a time limit too. You have like 15 seconds, I think. Oh. So if you don't choose it, chooses something for you. But, okay. So you could kind of let it just do whatever, but there's multiple endings. There's some kind of, at times it felt a little more forced, that no matter which way you chose, it's going to end a certain way, and it pulls you back. And I see even the choose your own adventure books. As you get towards the end of it, I'm watching this thing, and all of a sudden it starts doing these flashback things, like jumps back and runs through a lot of the beginning stuff again. Bless you. And I'm going, okay, I know what's going on here, and it's all the stuff that's going to be the same until you get to the point where you have to choose again. And sometimes it made you choose a different one. This was a way of them giving you all the alternate endings at the end. Like how often are you choosing? Like every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, every few minutes. Every few minutes. Yeah. So it's really interactive. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's every 5 to 8 minutes, maybe. So how many times have you watched it to try out different choices? Once. You've only done one time? Okay. Really, I think after one, because what it does is it keeps bumping you back to do the different. It basically gives you a chance to see all the alternate endings. Oh,
Oh, so you do? Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was getting at.
So I really liked it. I thought it was fun. It's one of those things that I probably wouldn't watch again for a long time.
Yeah, but Black Mirror does such a good job with these slight futuristic hyper realities of kind of like Twilight Zone type things.
Yeah, the whole premise is this guy creates. He loves this book that his mom had given him before she died, and and it's a choose your own adventure book. And the thing is like thicker than book 7 for Harry Potter. I was like, that's a big choose. Because my choose your own adventures were like this big.
Yeah, they were like 100 pages,
and I loved them. They were all great. I used
but kind of like how you were saying, how you go back and you see these different realities. In Choose Your Own Adventure, it's kind of that way. Like you flip to page 97. Oh, you died. Yep. You would go back to where you were,
and that's kind of how it felt.
Yeah,
and that was kind of cool. So I don't want to see them do a ton of Choose Your Own Adventure movies.
I do think this is something though that might become a reality only because the interactive of streaming.
Well, going back about 20 years ago, there was articles I was reading that theaters were starting to do it. They tried it out in New York and LA, and it just never caught on. Well, and in the theater, you'd had A, B, C, D as a button in your seat, and everybody would put. And what it is if there were empty seats, people would hit the other button trying to get them to choose, and it would change on the screen. You really watched it.
Also, actually, when I was co-hosting on Motown Mojo Live with Dominic, we had people here who are local filmmakers who do that Choose Your Own Adventure, and it's based. So the audience votes, and whatever wins is the path it goes. She said the what she learned most is how people root for the worst endings for the actors. It's usually the most violent choice someone could make.
Was
for
this
the
an online thing they were doing?
Yeah, so on their phones, you would have the app on your phone, and so while you're watching, when a segment would come up, everyone would vote on what direction to go. And
because this what I was talking about was actually done in theaters.
That's what I'm talking about.
So
except instead of
the difference was this was 20 years ago, and they actually set up the theater with control things on the seats. Yeah, and they're hoping and it never really caught on.
Well, this is now.
This is now with the technology,
with the apps and everything.
You can sit with the apps and do it.
You can do this in a regular theater now because of digital projection, and all these things.
Yeah, but
it's all come together.
And
I can't imagine doing that 20 years ago on reel to reel.
Well, it wasn't reel to reel. It was projecting it, and it was but it was not the quality you'd have now. So it was one of the games they were trying to figure out ways to get people in the theater back then. It was just ahead of its curve. Mm-hmm. But yeah, to see this on Netflix and you can do this from home, I think it's kind of neat. It's in some ways it's almost like doing like was it the Dirk the Daring from the 80s? You know the game Dragon Slayer. Is that right?
No.
Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of like that, where you had to choose one or the other, and then if you messed up, you died, or you can go in different things. But having this where choose different paths.
Don Bluth's Dragon's Lair.
Awesome animation on that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing more. I just don't want to see it become so over gimmicked that they got too many coming out and everybody's like, But you got to keep the story good. And this story, of course, being straight up Black Mirror dark, it was very. There were some very dark endings on this.
Right.
And there were some where it was a different ending, but different things happened the exact same way, pretty much, because it was still kind of a forced thing.
Right.
But then when you chose one option over the other, it went a different path towards that slightly different ending, but most of it was all the same.
All right.
So it was kind of cool. So definitely check out the Bandersnatch. That was pretty good in that. And
one ending that's always ends up the same is a good one with Lorangers.
Yeah, I'll be going to see them actually today because
always good results with them.
With them being closed for the holiday yesterday, I'm actually driving out to their Dexter location after the show to get adjusted again. It's my last adjustment before I head on a vacation. But Loranger Family Chiropractic, your journey to wellness begins here. Build a healthy lifestyle with chiropractic care. At Loranger Family Chiropractic Center, PC, located in Belleville, Michigan, and Dexter, Michigan, they take great pride in providing the finest chiropractic care to each and every patient. They offer on-site digital x-rays, massage therapy. Speaking of which, Janice is watching. I wonder if Janice ever used her massage thing she got from Odd Musings.
Oh yeah, go catch that in.
I don't know if she ever did that, so she hasn't. You need to do that. And then Orthotics by Foot Levelers, Young Living Essential Oils, full line of vitamins, all in a family-oriented environment. Visit them online, LorangerFamilyChiropractic.com. They have a link. We have a link at oddmusings.com under the sponsor page. You can also call the Belleville location 734-697-4244. And if Janice comments while she's still watching live here with us, we'll let you know what she said if she had the massage done. I can't remember if she did or not, because it's been a while since we gave it for her wedding. And so
she took on a new job though, and I know she's been really busy doing that. Actually, that's why we have.
She says here, I need to do that. Yes, you do, Janice.
Do it now.
Give a call to the Belleville location. location because I know where you live, and that's the closest one to you. And
we know where you
live. And I think Ashley's out there right now. I think it's Ashley's the name of the gal that's that's been doing a lot of massages. So she's had some openings, stuff like that. So give them a call, set up that appointment, and check them out. And don't forget to tell them the Odd Musing sent you.
All right. So there you have it. 2018. It was overall movie-wise, 2018. We'll do a quick review of the movies, our highs and lows. As a complete year, if not for Marvel, it would have been a very down year for me.
It was very interesting. I pulled up a neat little article here. I thought we could kind of go through, and it's the that's not it. I may have lost it.
The hits and misses or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest flops were like things like Mortal Engines.
Yeah, and that's one I want to go see still.
Yeah.
It's
they did like $100 million, but it cost them like $300 million to make or something.
It was $100 million to make, and it hasn't even hit $100 million. I think is what it is. So,
but then you had Holmes and Watson, which is completely bombed.
I'll tell you, I had zero desire to see that. One, I'm not a big Will Ferrell fan. Two, the trailer looked horrible, and people are literally walking out of this movie a half hour into it because it's so bad.
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking like
they did something like $9 million.
Yeah, it sounds to me like it sounds like Ishtar, which was historically the worst movie ever made for the longest time, is probably Academy Award material compared to this thing.
Forgot Ishtar.
So but it's. I think what it is
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, I think what it is. We're looking at this movie here is the whole Holmes Watson thing. It's just not funny to parody because it's being done so much in different aspects that nobody's finding anything fresh out of that.
Yeah, it's all
number two is the humor I saw in it is it's not even good sight gags. I mean, the clip I saw, they're trying to do a selfie with the old box camera,
right,
with Queen Victoria, and it just didn't look funny at all.
Right,
and he's doing like gangster poses and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, you're not being funny here.
Yeah.
But I picked up this article here, and it's 14 biggest box office flops of 2018 and 11 massive hits. So, 25 was that Mortal Engines. But I think talking about that, and Scott and I have various opinions on it. My opinion is they came out at the wrong time. It should have come out late January when nothing's really coming out, because it would have attracted more than just the steampunk crowd. It would attract people that's like, oh, this looks different. There's nothing out about it. Let's go see a movie. I think it would have done a couple $100 million if it came out then.
Right.
They're calling Star Wars Solo, a Star Wars story, a flop, which technically it is money-wise, but that was hurt by how bad Episode 8 was in terms of not drawing
it was. Yeah,
it really divided the Star Wars crew.
Yeah, a lot of people.
But I know on home video, a lot of people, when it came out on home video, saw it afterwards and were like, you know what, this actually was a good movie, and more people have started to see it since then. Now it's on Netflix, so I think it's.
I think the success of Solo is, and I'm just talking for myself personally, but I think there's many people out there who fall under this. Episode 8 just was so disgusting in my mind.
The thing is, it was such bad storytelling.
It was,
and it made zero sense in the Star Wars universe how they told that story.
Yeah, so it turned off people like me from the fan base. I can't believe the damage it did to my fandom of Star Wars. Yeah. And Solo came out. Solo was the saving grace to me.
And you almost didn't see it.
No. I just didn't want to see opening weekend.
Right.
My protest was opening weekend, but I planned on seeing it second week. But then some friends bought tickets, and they're like, well, I already bought your ticket, so if you don't go, the ticket sale already counts. So then I was forced to see it. And I was glad, though. You
ended up seeing it a couple times that weekend.
I think I saw it 6 or 8 times.
Yeah.
Over the course of
I think 3.
Then I got on. I've watched it multiple times on Blu-ray. Absolutely love it. And if Solo was anything like Episode 8 to me, then I wouldn't even be bothering with 9. So I think Solo saved some sales for Episode 9.
Yeah, and we got just under a year for that. It comes out next Christmas.
Yeah. But Solo was a great movie.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah. Next was as a hit was Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. It's definitely got some mixed reactions between the fan base, but it's one of those necessary films, kind of like
setup piece.
It's an Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
It has to set up for the next 3 films, and because
they put everything in place for the next 3. It was very fast paced to move the story along just to get everyone where they need to be. But I think as far as a foundation building for the franchise, I thought it was good.
Yeah. And then another flop was The Nutcracker in the Four Realms. I had no desire to see that. I'm not a big fan of of that. I know you said Jill saw it and they felt it was a little different.
Yeah, if I remember correct, she enjoyed it, but she said the play was far better because her and her daughters like to go see it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the truth in that. Another flop was A Girl in the Spider's Web. Of course, they changed all the actors, and it's been a long time since the predecessor, which was 2011. So 7 years later, it's just too long. Hit was, and it was a nice surprise for both of us, Mission Impossible Fallout.
I was so pleasantly surprised with that movie.
It was a fun movie.
I will say Henry Cavill is a big part. It's interesting, too, because I absolutely love Henry Cavill, and I love him as Superman, but I hate the writing as Superman. It just I want Marvel to take over DC. But anyway,
yes.
But I think he's perfect as Superman, but he was so great in the role as the antagonist in Fallout. Mm-hmm. He was a great offset to Tom Cruise's character. And
see, I love him in those roles. I love him in that. I loved him in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah, I'll say Mission Impossible Fallout was my biggest pleasant surprise. Like I went in like, okay, I'll probably like this, and come out going, wow, that was better than I thought. I think that was my biggest surprise one.
Yeah, another flop was the Happy Time Murders. That was the puppet Sesame Street rated R movie. I watched it. I actually liked it.
Yeah.
It's not a great movie, but it was funny, and it's definitely got a lot of adult humor in that. Another hit, of course. This is where the Marvels come in, so I'm going to skip through some pretty quick here. We got Ant-Man and the Wasp, which was awesome.
Everything Marvel was awesome.
I didn't even realize this came out, but a flop was the Bruce Willis Death Wish. It took $30 million to make, earned $34 million in its worldwide box office, so it really flopped everywhere. But it got delayed because of different events in the real world. They kept pushing it because of the violence. Mm-hmm. Another movie that flopped I forgot about was Annihilation. I remember seeing the trailer for that. That didn't look good either.
Annihilation.
Yeah, it's one of the best reviewed science fiction movies of the year. Tense, imaginative, and featured a star-studded cast, and where they have that nightmarish world sequence. They cross through.
I don't even remember this.
Yeah, I remember when the trailer for it, and I just didn't think it looked good.
Yeah. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Loved Bohemian Rhapsody. I was telling somebody about this the other day. I said 5 minutes into the film, you forget that Rami Malek is Rami Malek.
Yeah.
He embodied.
Well, I'm so used to seeing him as Elliot.
Yeah.
In Mr. Robot. Not Elliot. Yeah.
Yeah, Elliot in Mr. Robot. Yeah. And he embodied Freddie Mercury so much in this film, and I can't wait for this to come out on home.
His range of acting, too, because he's so different in that role versus some actors pretty much play the same character just with different names. Mm-hmm. He was Freddie Mercury. He wasn't Elliot at all. It was you forget.
He wasn't even Rami Malek. I've seen him in other films. He strictly just Freddie Mercury.
So good.
Another flop that came out and went that I thought looked more like a made-for-TV movie was Gotti with Travolta. Who cares about John Gotti? I mean, they've done so many stuff with that over the years. That's a waste of a movie.
Travolta needs to go. So he needs to stop. Every time anything goes up, like there's another movie he has coming out. I forget what it's called. People are ripping on. He's got too many plastic surgeries. He doesn't look real anymore. And people are any role he does now is the way he looks overtakes anything about the movie. All the comments on this last trailer that came out, everyone's just talking about his face. Yeah, because it looks so fake now.
Yeah. Another hit, Deadpool 2, which they re-released as a PG-13 for Christmas, Once Upon a Deadpool.
That was genius marketing. Yeah. They got to have a second release of the same movie.
I don't know how much money it made, this second run, but they had to have done pretty well, because I know quite a few people were posting the first couple weeks, so I wouldn't mind seeing that version of it.
I hope Fred Savage made some good money on it.
Yeah. A flop was the Aardman animation Early Man. I saw it. I liked it. It's a kid's movie. It was different, but it's not going to do big money. A hit was Venom. I haven't seen that. Still have no desire to. But it raked in $855 million into worldwide box office. Yeah, but it's not the Venom I know. And
I have no interest in it.
I don't remember this movie, The Hurricane Heist. That flopped. Hit. They're calling Aquaman a hit. Yeah. We won't get into that. The Darkest Minds. It's an X-Men like thing. It flopped. Yeah. That came and went pretty quick. Production budget $34 million. Took in $41 million worldwide. It was again another hit that I loved. Yeah, Incredibles 2 was awesome.
Great. It really was. You can watch that back to back with the first Incredibles. Yep. It flows perfectly.
1.2 billion at the box office for that one.
Okay.
So, and then of course we've got Toy Story 4 coming up this year. Another flop I haven't seen. I tried to watch but I couldn't watch it. A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, I was
horribly made.
No,
Horribly
ruined
made.
that movie.
The storytelling was bad. And the thing is it was the way it was done the whole way, and they took away from the original story. I love the original book, and I think if they went back to more of the source material in that,
she Oprahized it.
yeah. Another great surprise hit was even better than I thought it would be. Black Panther.
I was very happy.
1.3 billion.
I figured being a Marvel movie, I was going to like it, but I will say I liked it even better. My only complaint there was I felt the whole how they do the battle for who's going to be king. Like it was too repetitive.
There was a little redundancy in
Yeah,
there.
there was about 20 minutes that was redundant, where it's like if they had just done it one time, it would have had more pow. But
overall, great movie.
Overall, great. I give it an A- instead of an A+. That's all.
There's this neo-noir novel turned movie called London Fields I know nothing about. It came away $8 million to make and pulled in $250,000 worldwide on a limited release. So obviously it was not good.
Jurassic World is a hit.
It's a hit worldwide.
I'll tell you what.
Well, it did 1.3 billion.
It sucked.
But here's the thing: it did 1.3 billion.
Yeah.
But it did a lot of it pretty initially, and then died off very quickly.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed with
The
that.
first half of the movie was very good. The second half, they should have done away with it.
The direction they're going, I'm not excited about anything
And this
future.
is where that movie, I think, is a flop.
Mm-hmm.
The way it ends, everyone walked out going, "That was the surprise ending that was going to hype up 3." I don't. Where's the hype for 3?
Yeah.
Watching this one, I don't even care about another Jurassic World movie.
I would be very surprised if I'm even excited about it.
So yes, they made their money, but I don't know about the franchise moving forward. Honestly,
they did another Robin Hood movie, $100 million to make, $73 million box office. I like Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
He's from the Kingsman.
I think he's overrated.
But
They're trying to make him the new action star,
right? And personally, this didn't look at. They had him and Jamie Foxx. It's like, okay, so you're trying to remake Prince of Thieves without being Prince of Thieves, and didn't need to be remade personally. So
And the other thing that was dumb about that movie, the big reveal, they reveal in the trailer.
Right.
They should have kept it a secret that he is also Robin Hood, and let it be a mystery throughout the movie, and don't reveal it to the end to the audience who he is.
Right.
But they reveal it in the trailer, so you know the big reveal.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
So, and then of course, Avengers. I mean, all the Marvel movies were just big hits over the year, this past year.
All of them were great. A lot of people are liking Aquaman too. It wasn't for me.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm sure I'll see it eventually. I'm not sure if I'll see it in the theater. It's one of the things where I was not excited about the trailer from the get-go, and I'm just not. My time to go to the movies is very limited. That's why I haven't been in a few weeks. So
all of those hit on everything on our list that we talked about pre-show, except for one of them wasn't mentioned. Ready Player One. That was the one I was pleasantly surprised.
It did well. I love the book, and I know there was a big divide. Now, here's the thing: it's funny, and this is just like with the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie that came out in 2005. People hated it. They go, "Oh, it just took away from it." Both of those movies had screenplays written by the original author. So the author that did Ready Player One, he actually worked on the screenplay with them, and there was changes made. One for, of course, rights to what they can use. Two was it's a 2-hour movie. You can only do so much in a couple-hour movie.
For me, it was more of a nostalgia movie, anyways.
Yeah. Well, the book's a
where
nostalgia
else you get
book.
to see, the battles that took place between certain characters.
Well, to see
would never
someone
see
driving the DeLorean, and then also in a big battle seeing Iron Giant there.
Right.
How cool was that?
It was so cool. So
I loved Ready Player One. I've watched it a few times. I own it.
I personally
on
wouldn't
Blu-ray.
do a sequel to it. I think it's an awesome one movie. It doesn't need to be expanded.
There's no sequel in the books either. So I mean, everything I covered in the movie ended it where it needed to be at.
Yeah.
In the books, they deal a little more with the keys that they do going at, and there's a lot more depth in that.
Right.
But again, if they were to do anything different, if they wanted to remake it down the road, this is a movie that could end up on as a limited series for like Netflix and that, where they do 6 or 8 episodes to cover really. The problem is there's so much stuff in there that would have to be licensed. The money is just too much. I mean, the only reason it came about as it is because Spielberg came in and said, okay, I can get this, because he knew enough of the players that involved that we could say, okay, here we need this, and this. How can we work this out? And it ended up being not that big a deal because it was Spielberg.
All right, so we got to move forward because we're running out of time.
Oh man, it's
2019. Let's do a quick rundown of what the films coming out that we are looking forward to? What
first
would you
up,
say?
Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even going to say Captain Marvel. I'm going to say all Marvel.
All Marvel,
Let's
yeah.
lump them together to say.
Well, we got Captain Marvel, and we've got the Endgame for
and
Avengers.
we also have semi-Marvel, Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Right.
I believe that's all the Marvel stuff. So obviously, we're all excited.
Another
for
surprise one coming up really quick. Glass is the sequel to Unbreakable and Split.
Yeah. Definitely looking forward to that.
That's another one came out of nowhere.
That's going to do well for DC. We actually have two. We have two.
Well, we
got
have
Shazam and Joker.
I'm not excited about Joker.
I have a feeling. Here's my prediction. I'm not excited for Joker either, but my prediction is it's going to be a surprise, and this is going to be way better than we're expecting.
The trailer's going to have to be really good to want me to go see it.
So my surprise pick for the year is actually Joker. I'm going to pick Joker as my surprise success. Where it's
I think the surprise success hasn't been announced yet.
See, maybe that's possible
because there's a lot of movies that will come out later in the year that will be a surprise success.
But I have a feeling the Joker is going to be very surprising as a movie. That's my prediction.
Of course, we have a new Godzilla coming out, which is going to lead into the Godzilla versus King Kong movie coming out in 2020.
Which I have reservations on based on the first trailer, but hope based on the second trailer.
The second trailer, first one I didn't. Second trailer I did. So I definitely want to see it now. Yeah. Toy Story 4 is my Pixar movie I'm looking forward to this year.
Okay.
I'm very excited to see how they do it. The trailer's funny. It shows them kind of spinning, and also you see the sport guy. He goes, "I'm not a toy."
And there's a new character being revealed. What toy is it? I forget.
Yeah.
I'm blinking.
So it'll be interesting to see where this takes place, because supposedly 3 was going to wrap up everything. So this will be interesting to see on this.
Another movie coming out this year. This is my surprise flop prediction. It's going to be Hellboy. I think Hellboy is going to flop. That's my prediction. I think the studio.
There's a lot of divided.
They divided the fan base. Those who love the Ron Perlman version, they were upset that Perlman wasn't coming back, and the studio hyped it as this dark horror gritty version. And then the trailer looks like a Ron Perlman version,
and he sounded like Ron Perlman.
Right. So those who were looking forward to the gritty dark ones are upset now. Those who saw the trailer are saying, "Wait a minute! If you're going to go that route, why didn't you bring back Perlman?" So my prediction is Hellboy is going to be the surprise flop, while Joker's the surprise success.
I think the known flop that's going to happen is Dark Phoenix.
I think that's going to,
that one's been delayed a couple times, and they're coming out with that. And they're slightly promoting it, but I think a lot of that's going to disappear with the Disney and 20th Century Fox should finalize that deal this month.
The other problem with that line, does anyone care about Sophia Turner as Dark Phoenix?
Probably not.
She's not.
Well, the problem is that the first class was really good, but since then they've slowly kind of gone down.
But as a character, Jean Grey from the original X-Men are way better than this Jean Grey. She's not a main.
They didn't build her up right in these stories.
But even like for Game of Thrones, she's annoying as she's annoying. She's like the Stark that should have died. It's like, come on. I don't know. It's just I don't care for her as an actress as a whole.
Yeah. John Wick 3 is coming out. They must have killed his dog again. Excited to see that.
Did we say? I am looking forward to it, but like Al Tong, our secret Asian man on the show, Al Tong posted he was watching John Wick 2. He's like, based upon this movie, everyone except me is an assassin. It's like, and it is true. It's like he's walking through that park, and there's like 100 assassins waiting to hunt him down. It's like, how many assassins are there? But anyways, we'll see how John Wick 3 goes. But they're fun movies.
That's the thing is they're completely enjoyable movies.
I would love to see a crossover John Wick versus Bourne Identity.
Yeah, that'd be
Jason
good.
Bourne. That's the crossover event I want.
Yeah.
The most angst I have, the most worry I have for the movie coming out is Star Wars Episode 9. We'll see what happens with that one.
Yeah. How to Train Your Dragon 3, the final one's coming out next month. Look forward to that.
Men in Black International.
Men in Black International will be interesting. That looks pretty good.
That looks good.
With Thor and
Valkyrie.
So
Chris Hemsworth, and I don't remember her name.
Yeah.
Valkyrie's name.
So that looks pretty good. And then
it's basically Thor Ragnarok if they were reborn as human instead of maybe we'll get a revolution.
Lego Movie has got a Lego Movie 2.
Yep.
I think that's going to be a big flop because I saw a trailer for it and they're not hyping it very much, so I don't think it's going to do well.
And then the last on we got Dumbo coming out.
Dumbo, Lion King, and Aladdin live action Disney movies. The only one I'm excited for is Aladdin. I think that one looks decent.
That one's getting the most criticism too because of Will Smith as the genie.
Yeah, but
my thing is,
people forget he's a comedic actor, though.
No, but I think the problem is they're doing a live action version of I think Will Smith would work as the voice and personality for the genie. I think people want the blue aura of the.
Supposedly, he says he will be blue in the final film. That they're going to CGI him blue.
Oh well, interesting. Because all
be
him though.
All the stills they showed him is just him normal.
Yeah,
it's still gonna be him. That's the one because the opening trailer I liked, and we'll see how that goes. Lion King, I liked it as the animated movie, but it didn't need to. But they're remaking all the.
They're doing all live actions.
The Dumbo one.
We mixed. Oh, go ahead.
They're changing a little bit of the story on how that goes, and
we'll see how that goes.
So
overall, I usually like Tim Burton movies.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
And then, did we mention Shazam?
Real quick, Shazam's coming out. Looks great.
I am looking forward to that one.
That is the first DC movie I'm truly looking forward to.
My prediction is that may be based on the trailers, I have a feeling that might be my favorite DC movie.
That's what I'm going. But I
which
love
is
Zach
funny
Levi.
Because when I first saw the pictures, I was thinking, "Oh God, what are they doing?" But it makes sense for
it's big as a superhero.
Well, that's it.
And that's what makes it worse.
So he's taking on the form of how he sees it,
and that's what makes it worse. And I love the trailer. He's walking through the mall, going, "Here, your phone's charged. Your phone's charged." And he blows his phone. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, because he's got the kid mentality, and Zachary Levi, I love him as an actor. And he did have the pleasure of taking a picture with me. Yeah.
So that's my show. Well, listen, we're going to be taking the next 2 weeks off from new episodes.
But we'll post something.
We'll post stuff in the next couple weeks. I'll be posting next week a little bit, next couple weeks where I'm at. And then Scott will do the same thing. We'll keep some going there. And when we come back, though, it'll be 3 weeks from today, we're going to talk with Dominic about the frozen fish fiasco. It's going your 10th year, right?
Yes.
I think this is great. This is I don't want to say it's surprising, Dominic, but when people think, oh, it's just Dominic and he does this great comic book and he does some other stuff. Wait a minute, you've been doing a charity for 10 years, and we'll talk a little. We talked a little bit about last year, but I think we'll get a little more with you on that. I think it's a great cause. I think it's great to see a Detroiter who loves hockey still promoting. Isn't it like the last outdoor rink in Detroit?
Yeah, the last full size one.
Yeah,
what do they have in downtown? Where it's just where there's no boards.
Yeah, and you've got the Red Wings alumni coming out. We'll talk about that. Brandon Ings is coming out. He's going to be signing some autographs as well as dropping the puck for the alumni game. So this is a huge, great charity in there. Dominic's been running, and it's a great benefit, encouraging kids in Detroit to basically embrace hockey.
Yeah.
How do people learn more about Frozen Fish Fiasco?
FrozenFishFiasco.com has everything in regards to Clark Park and the charity and how you can donate or volunteer or be a part of the event.
I think we'll try to get a link up on that.
We'll have to get Dominic to go into the origin of the name also.
Yes. I think we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the different events you have going on that weekend, your chairs.
Yeah, the hockey, Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Game of... You got to come up with a name for it.
You're not doing the mullet challenge this year, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about the mullet challenge.
The Yamir Yager Award will be up for grabs.
So Dominic is going to be our guest in 3 weeks.
I'm going to start growing my mullet
out. So he's going to have to actually hang out. We're going to make him hang out the whole hour and not leave like he did today. And we'll cover Frozen Fish Fiasco. We'll get a little bit more into your Donnybrook comic, which is getting a big deal.
He also got a new deal with a snowboarder, world-class snowboarder.
Yeah, Jake Vetter.
Yeah, so
that's right. You are just everywhere.
So 3 weeks, it's going to be Frozen Fish Fiasco.
Start getting your autographs from Dominic now. You can eBay them later.
Yeah, so join it. Frozen Fish Fiasco, Mess Bucket Comics. You guys enjoy the new year. Be safe. We'll see you in 3 weeks. And Dominic, take us out, man.